Hi class, this is Mr. Smith again. 7th grade Raiders, I'm excited to show you again how to do one of our assignments in our class. And that assignment is going to be the length measurement Gizmo assignment. So again, you'll click on classwork and you can go find your assignment. And then this is the teacher view, but you will have a document here. And then unfortunately, I don't have a link here to the Gizmo page, but I'll show you the Gizmo because I used it previously in another video. So you'll go to our Gizmo link, and again, you'll log in. This is the previous Gizmo I did, so I'm going to actually get out of here and go to another one of my 7th grade classes. And we are today looking at measuring trees. And so this is the Gizmo on measuring trees, the assignment that we gave you. And then we're going to launch it so we can go over how to use this effectively to complete your assignment. Remember that your document is always going to be in your assignment. So I'll go ahead and open that so we can look at it later. Each Gizmo assignment we give you starts with prior knowledge questions, which you don't actually need the Gizmo to answer. For example, you're just kind of investigating or figuring some things out most of the time. This one, we're immediately jumping in, actually, so that's okay. So this is a warm-up so you can learn how to use the Gizmo. And we're following these instructions, right? So I'm looking at the Gizmo here. If I click on a specific tree, it gives me a view of the inside of the tree. And this is where we find out the age of the tree, which is very important later on in the assignment. In order to see that up close, we can click on Show Larger View, and that actually gives us a ruler, which we can measure, which is the whole point of this lab. And we can even zoom in so we can count those rings. So we start out by counting those rings, and when you do that, make sure you don't count the bark on the outside. So this is tree A, and I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rings. If you say 9, that's all right, but there's not a 10th one out here. So we could say 9 rings. And then the second thing is, how do we use the measurement tools? Because that is really the point of this lab, is to practice using those tools of measurement. So we're going to do that. And these are centimeters because in science we use the metric system. So I'm going to line this up where I'm not on the bark, but I'm on the 9th ring, which is the outer ring, the dark brown here. And I'm going to measure the length of tree A. So that's 0. I'm going to come all the way over here. And when I'm measuring this, each dark line is a centimeter. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not quite 7. So 6 centimeters. And then I'm going to count the little ones as a milliliter. And there are 10 milliliters in 1 centimeter. So that's a decimal point. So I would say this is 6.7 centimeters would be the diameter, which is the length across this tree. If you want to find the circumference, which you need to do later, you can click Find Circumference, and it will just measure it for you and then tell you that measurement here in case you're putting that in a data table. I don't know what a data is, but in a data table, you would put this circumference there. So I'm going to actually return to the forest here. Hopefully there's no bears because that would be quite dangerous. That was a terrible joke, but that's okay. Let's see if you're listening. So I might also need to ask some questions. So one might be the height of the tree. This is a meter stick, and so each of these lines represents a meter. 0 is what I want to put at the base of each tree if I'm measuring the height. And so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would almost say 6.7 as the height of that tree as well. So tree A would have a height of 6.7 centimeters. And so we're going to use this document in Gizmo to accomplish our assignment. Make sure that you're not advancing years. It doesn't ask you to do that in the assignment. And I wouldn't necessarily do new forest either. You can just click reset and you'll always keep that same one. So I go to my document here. How do I do this? I'm going to follow those instructions using those tools. and put my answers in the document here. Lastly, when you get down here, you have a giant data table. And so we're measuring the height of each tree. This one says 6.9 meters. And so I'm kind of, at a loss there to some degree. But we're going to measure as tight as we can. Remember, these are estimates. This one says 9 years, 7.4 centimeters, 23.3 centimeters for the circumference. And so when I go to the Gizmo self, I can check all those things. This is tree A. It's 6, they're saying 6.9, almost 7 centimeters. I can show larger view. I can zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 years. I can measure the diameter. 5, 6, 6.7. Let's see what that says on the document. It says 7.34. And so since it's saying 7.34, I can use that as my standard. And I can say, let's see, that's going to be bark to bark. So they are counting the bark as the last ring. So bark to bark, we're going diameter, right? So we are counting the bark for diameter, not rings. So we got 7, 6, 7.1, 2, 3, 4, 7.4 centimeters for the diameter. And then when I click find circumference, it finds circumference for me. And I put that in my document. So you'll do that for each of these. Oh, what's wrong document? Each of these data. And then you'll answer these questions here. Hopefully that helps you out in terms of using that gizmo to answer the questions and completing this assignment. I'm Mr. Smith, and I'll see you later.